Well, if you haven't been paying attention or you just didn't hear yet, Filson did something last week which kind of sucks. They increased the price of their legendary Mackinaw Cruiser by $100. Now, before it was $399. It had gone through a couple price increases to get to that point. Now it's about $500. Now, it's a legendary coat. There's no doubt. This is my father's. This is an older one. I've covered this before. I've even covered how to date one if you have one and you aren't sure what era it's from. A lot of different things you could do to see what date it is. They've taken this coat, which was a pretty good option, even at $400, increasing it to $500 really makes you think, okay, what else is out there? And that's what this video is going to be about. Different alternatives to the Filson Mackinaw Cruiser. And I hate to do it. Filson, stop making me do this. I like the Filson products. The company, though, it just seems like they're a mess. See, this is why I got a black and white cat, so that way I can effectively ruin every shirt I own, no matter what color it is. Now, I might as well get this out of the way. There is no direct replacement for the Mackinaw Cruiser. There's nothing that is exactly the same layout, the same thing. If you want the Filson and just can't have anything else, go ahead and get it. You'll likely have it for generations, as I did. Now, that being said, what makes this thing so special? After all, the layout is somewhat antiquated. The pockets are vertical. This was originally meant for timber cruisers. Not many people are doing that this, age, but what makes this thing so special is the wool. The wool is an old school, kind of scratchy feeling, very warm. And look at the saturation of color of this one right here. Again, this is probably close to 30, maybe 40 years old. It's really held up incredibly well. I had to sew a couple of the buttons back on, but that's about it. Now, the wool itself is actually made by Pendleton Woolen Mills. That means that you can go secondhand. So secondhand Filson Mackinaw Cruisers are out there. You can get them for a song and dance, a very, very good price, in other words. I think you could probably have a $200 budget and get a pretty good version of one, even in some of the old colors that are discontinued. Or, alternatively, you could search for Pendleton Mackinaw Cruiser, or a Pendleton Cruiser, a Pendleton Mackinaw. You could find something very similar to this jacket, but a Pendleton version of it. After all, they're the ones who make the wool. Woolrich is another company who has really lost their way. If you go and look at what they offer now, it's just a far cry from what they used to have. Sadly, because they used to have some great stuff. And in that case, look for some of the used or vintage Woolrich stuff. Again, that same type of wool, the same sort of layout, and you get the benefit of also having some really cool old stock patterns and colors that you just can't get nowadays. But if you want a new replacement alternative for the Mackinaw Cruiser, here are some to consider. The Orvis Wool Barn Coat. In many ways, the Orvis wool barn coat is a better coat than the Filson. It's lined in flannel, the sleeves are lined in taffeta, which makes it easy to put on over other layers, and the closure is a zip with a button storm flap. Details on the weight of the wool shell weren't available, but I think it's safe to assume that it's not as thick as Filson's wool. The original price was $329, but it's currently on sale for $249. The Buffalo Jackson Ellis Wool Jacket. This is one handsome jacket, and it has a ton of great features too. The wool is a blend of 45% wool, 55% cotton, but those are both natural materials and should provide plenty of warmth, especially with the quilted nylon lining. It has a good-looking corduroy collar with throat closure, which should keep the cold out when you really need to batten down the hatches. Overall, the pocket layout is somewhat similar to Filson with lower flapped patch pockets, but there are also some hand warmer pockets which the Filson lacks. The price is right on this model too at $199. The LL Bean Maine Guide Wool Parka. The Maine Guide Parka has a similar layout to the Buffalo Jackson, but it's made up of an 85% wool, 15% nylon blend. It uses PrimaLoft Infinity insulation, it has a draw cord waist to keep draft out, and it has forearm patches for durability. There is a zip closure and a snap/button storm flap. There's even a camouflage option if you need it, but the red-black plaid would be my pick for the closest match to the Filson at half the price at $249. The legendary Whitetails Outdoorsman jacket. This is a very affordable option, but it has some nice features with a 60% wool, 40% synthetic shell, and Sherpa-lined interior. It has the traditional work jacket pocket layout of 2 lower hand warmer pockets with flapped chest pockets, and it even uses an antique brass zipper. It appears that the black and red is sold out right now, but the golden night plaid is even better looking in my opinion. The price is right too at 89 bucks. The Weatherwool all-around jacket. Now, if you have cash to burn and you want something quite amazing, the Weatherwool all-around jacket might be the one for you. Now, let's just get this out of the way right off the start. It's $850. I know. For that money though, you're getting some next level wool that seems to almost have magical properties, along with details that any true outdoorsman or hunter will appreciate. This is a really nice piece that feels like what Filson probably would have eventually turned into if they'd kept true to their roots. And it's probably the best wool coat for actual hard use that's available today. The Stormy Kromer Mackinaw coat. If there was one coat that feels like a relative to the Filson Mackinaw Cruiser, it's the Stormy Kromer Mackinaw coat. It's a similar 26-ounce wool, which is a bit softer than Filson's, but the coat is still made here in the USA, and even the colors are similar. At $299, this is the coat to get if you're not married to the Filson name. The Patagonia Woolly Chore coat. This is a lighter weight option, being better for a fall/spring coat, but it also has a lighter weight price at $118 or 98 bucks if you choose the blue or the gray option. The wool is a very Patagonia-esque blend of recycled wool, polyester, and nylon. This might be the best option for those in a warmer climate or if you spend time in a chilly workshop or a warehouse. The Mont St. Michael Valenti Wool Work Jacket. Now, I know, I said all these picks were meant to work, and a brand called Mont St. Michael isn't one that you'd see on a typical job site, but just hear me out here. This model features a 50-50 blend of wool and polyester, button closure, vertical hand and chest pockets, and is completely unlined. So perhaps this is like Filson's more refined relative, but I don't see any reason why it couldn't be put to work. The price is $179. The Johnson Woolen Mills Wool Hunting Coat. The singular photo of this coat on the Johnson Mills website isn't a great one, but I think it's safe to bet that this coat is damn close to the Filson Mackinaw Cruiser. And I also like the fact that you're buying a coat directly from the mill which produces the wool. Talk about American supply chain. It appears that the pocket layout is similar to the Mackinaw Cruiser with a 4-pocket design, but you also get a zip closure with a snap storm flap. The wool is a tad lighter too at 24 ounces, and the prices range from $369 to $479 depending on size. The Big Bill Wool Hunting and Outdoor Jacket. This one is a bit of a wild card. I have no experience with Big Bill, but at $165 for a 24-ounce 80% recycled wool, 20% nylon blend, they just might be the best kept secret in wool work clothing. It appears to have a cape design similar to the double Mackinaw Cruiser, brass zipper closure, 2 button closure, chest pockets, and 2 hand warmer pockets. Again, it's hard to find this jacket outside of the Ghostwear website, but if the details are on point, this may be a hidden gem. Now, there are plenty of other options out there, but one final thing that I want to offer is a different Filson model, the Jac-Shirt. Now, it's a similar model, and I actually have one of these in their military plaid, and it shares the same type of wool at a lighter 18-ounce weight. Now, this is offset by the cotton lining, and this is far more of a jacket than a shirt. The hand pockets are somewhat awkward, being so far out to the sides, and the sizing, it runs almost a full size large, but it's priced at $350, and it doesn't give up much to the Mackinaw Cruiser, and it has that whole Filson vibe and look about it. This is also offered in special colorways each year, and to me, this is a much better value than the Mackinaw Cruiser. So whether you go with the original or one of the models that I've listed here, a good wool work jacket is timeless. Wool is nature's own miracle fabric and has many benefits like water and fire resistance, durability, and warmth. I don't know that there's a more classic workwear staple out there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you next time.